Today I'm going to be starting the sheet metal process on the 67 coupe behind me. Had a video on it maybe 2 weeks ago, taking it off of the full frame that it's getting from Shorts Performance. They built that frame for it with the Coyote 6-speed. It's going to be a big Restomod build. I'm going to start the sheet metal process on it. There was some work done. I'm going to undo. I have all my metal here ready to go. So I have it up on my platform. I'm going to cut off the bad stuff, start welding it together here. You'll see it over the next couple weeks. It'll be done before the end of February. Starting it on here. Today is, I think, the 2nd of February. So it should just take me a couple weeks to do everything. And this is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to save some of the outside metal. This car isn't that rusty. It just appears it was hit on this side before. You can see the patch that they did on this back half here, which is done really poorly a long time ago, it looks like. But the front of this quarter is really nice shape, and the quarter on this side is actually in pretty nice shape. There's maybe a couple spots on it. It's hard to see now, it's blasted, but just some shaping that needs done to fix this. I'm leaning towards using this whole quarter panel because it's getting some fender flares, so I got to cut out the wheelhouses on both sides on the outer to fit the new flares that are going on anyway. So it gets rid of the little bit of the problem area that this one has. And there's just some waves here and there, but if I can use these ones, I will. I'll make sure that my trunk lid fits nicely to the shaping of this, but I'll test fit that stuff after I cut out and do the floor pan here. So floor pan is going to get cut out. I'm going to cut off this quarter section in the taillight panel because that's just welded in very poorly, and that's a reproduction taillight panel also. So I'm going to pull that stuff off. I'm going to cut out the firewall, do those things first, and then I'll start drilling out all my spot welds around to drop that floor out, to then be ready to put in the new floor pan that I have, which I'll have to do some prepping on that to fit over the frame that's over in the other garage. And then, like I said, all my other metals here, I have flares for the front and rear. I have quarter panels that they provided. So I'll need to patch for this for the driver's side mostly. I have Mustang Zephyr front apron panels that I'll fit up. I have Mustang Zephyr mini tubs for the back, new doors, a new firewall. It has the California Special taillight panel, or the tail end that's going to be on this car, with the Shelby looking front hood. Like I said, it's going to get flares, it's going to get some side scoops. So it'll be a pretty cool project here. So I'm going to set up the GoPro here, just start cutting off some metal and get that floor out of there and get everything started in the prep for the new floor. I have the back end metal cut off, and I went ahead and went around, I'll show you. I drilled out all the spot welds. It's just monotonous. I didn't video it. It takes a good bit to do it with a drill bit. I have a plasma cutter, but I get tired of smelling that burning smell that it puts off. So I just go ahead and do it with the drill bits. Makes a nice clean hole to weld onto then, especially on your rockers, top and bottom. So you got a nice clean hole to weld, fill with weld. So detached the whole way along, you can see to the outer wheelhouse, inner along the whole rocker to the front, and from the transition, the back seat area, it's welded on there on both sides, so broke that loose. So everything is pretty much broken loose unless it's just hanging on by a little bit. I go with a 3/8 drill bit, especially on the rockers, because that's a pretty big spot weld, and that usually does the trick on everything as long as you're pretty darn close. And you'll see me here, I'll go along with the air hammer, buzz all that stuff apart, and then I'll drop the pan out. I'll raise the body up, drop the pan out from underneath of it, and I'll be left with the shell. So that's what I'm going to do now, is separate the two. Floor pan is all out. So now what you'll see me do is I'll come back in here on the inside of these outer rockers. I'm going to take a wire wheel, clean all that up, and then I'll go back, clean up all my drilled out holes with a cutoff wheel grinder to clean and prep those spots there, especially on the outside where I'm going to weld against then. And then I'm going to hammer and dolly out some bangs that it has on both sides. Actually have some bumps on it that I'll correct now that I can get in the inside of it with a hammer and dolly. Hit them as straight as I can, and then in the end I'll coat those with some paint, a couple coats of paint on both sides before they get covered up again with the new floor, which is sitting over there, which I'll prep also to get ready for going underneath. But I set them up. I set the bodies back up on the stands here with the wood in between. That way I can get my jack stands out farther, so I can just slide the floor pan right underneath of it, so it's directly where it needs to go. And then I'll just lift the body up, drop the front, lift the body up, drop the back, and it'll be on the floor pan. I'll vice grip it together, jack it back up into place on the stands, and then set measurements to where they need to be, and start going from there. So all that stuff's what will be covered here in the next couple minutes, and that's what I'll be doing, getting everything ready to mount the two together. So what I didn't mention in the beginning is setting up the car and taking measurements off of frame rail heights and all that kind of stuff that you could take before this. But I'll show you the spots that I'm measuring once putting this floor pan in to base all of my correctness off of. So otherwise, you shouldn't just cut out that kind of stuff without getting measurements first. Unless your car has been wrecked or it's twisted to start, it's really going to throw you off then. But so setting my one-piece floor in, basically I'm measuring in two real areas here. The wheelhouses that I have, nice inner wheelhouses in place, are fully intact front and back, so it fits that curvature of the transition pan nice, so it kind of fits in there with just a little bit of play, so it kind of centers it for you where the floor pan is relative to the body of this car, because you could move it forward or you can move it back in here a little bit. So my one critical spot that I'm measuring to get me in a close area is off of the face of this A-pillar. I measure out to this inner rocker lip. Here there's a little 90-degree bend. I'm measuring off that face to that lip, and it's right around 11 1/4. And that's generally what I've always found to be the median number for that measurement on all the years of cars. So that's what I'm doing. I'm getting that right, going back and making sure it looks okay back there, and that it doesn't just something look off. And then in the back end, now this is going to carry out throughout here, because until you tie in your back end here with your taillight panel and your quarters and whatnot, this is just going to be kind of sitting in place. It has some wiggle to it in the floor pan. You can move it, which is good because you need to manipulate it a little bit. So you can see, and I've always found this with these big one-piece floor pans, it's usually always low on this passenger side. You can see my holes that I drilled out previously on the inner wheelhouse, as opposed to this side. This side is pretty close to where it needs to be. This side actually needs bumped up. So I actually have a little jig that I end up putting in here under this rail to pop that up into place to where it needs to be to get my measurement right. But it's all all my measurements are based off of being level with this floor. So I set my rockers up level, which is always a good starting point when you're measuring a car. Set your rockers level and then measure your heights off of that. I'll have this set up. Mine is 18 7/8. So you can figure right around 19 is where I'm at, front and back. Bottom on the floor here on my steel platform up to the bottom of my rear rail is 26 1/2. And that's the number I've always used to base all my cars off of, is that 26 1/2 with the rockers being level at 19. The front end I'll get to once I'm on that section, but I think it's right around 22 at the very front of the rails down to the ground on my platform. So it's 22, 19, 26 1/2. Even with those numbers, you could probably tell if you're close. And if your floor is level, you can get nice measurements left to right to make sure that it's not twisted at all. So like I said, that corner on these floors always needs bumped up. It's about a 1/2 inch low actually right now, which seems to be consistent. So at some point I'll brace that up in. I'll probably pop it up now and put some vice grips in that wheelhouse to hold that close to where it needs to be. But once I get my 11 1/4 at the front and make sure everything looks right, I'll go along my rocker pinches on the top and bottom and get them level with each other. You can see the outer rockers hanging down a little bit. So I'll pop that up into place, vice grip it together, and then I'll weld all this rocker on both sides. And then I'll jump on to the next segment, which would be the cowl and firewall area on this car. So that's what you see me do. I'm gonna bump this, the body of the car forward a little bit to get my measurement a little bit less on the front. And then I'll vice grip everything in place, and then it's just gonna get welded. So that's a major part of this restoration on these cars. It involves, I mean, you're just doing one piece, but it is multiple pieces all put together like that when you're doing it this way, between the floor supports, both rails, both trunk floors, transition pan, trunk brace. It just helps in that process of moving this a lot quicker. That's why I like doing these floor pans, especially whenever it needs multiple of those parts. It just makes it make more sense to do. So it's all welded in along the rocker. I have to cut these ones out from the old firewall that was in it that someone else did, along with the cowl, which I'll look out in a second here because that's going to be next. But it's welded top and bottom the whole way back, and just I have vice grips holding the wheelhouse back here together just to keep that intact for now until I get to the back end of the car. So the next part of the process, which I'll have in the next video, so this one might be a little bit shorter, going to tackle the cowl, firewall. I'll do all that in one video and give out my measurements and specs and tips on some of that stuff there. But unfortunately, this thing was welded up pretty bad and how they did it and how they cut it out. So I've been looking at it. I'm trying to figure out if I can nicely separate this to reuse this upper cowl or not. So we'll see in the next video what I decide on after I think on it for a little bit longer. But cowl side panels are both nice on each side, except for they're kind of blown out how they disassembled them on the bottom side, which I can weld then in the end. So like I said, next video, I'll do the lower cowl, upper cowl, firewall, fix those side panels, tie it into the floor, and I'll cut some of those floor supports apart a little bit more for how they're going to fit over this new frame that's for this car, which you can find in the last video on this car, the first video on this car, where I showed the frame that it was sitting on when it came to me. This was a dead in the water project that was at another shop that I've taken over. So that's going to be it for this video. I appreciate everyone watching. I'll have probably a Shelby update video next. I actually have something really cool that showed up to help with that project for the driveline. And that'll be the next video here, and then we'll be back on this again. So stay tuned for those. Thanks again for watching, and see you in the next video.